Hello fans of the Supreme Duo channel, Tap here, and this is going to be a video about Young Justice Season 3. Now, they haven't released any plot details to my knowledge, but they did release a couple of promo images. A few of them have been picked up by news websites, and I've also found some pictures on the official DC Comics Twitter. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Now, if you're wondering why I'm rushing through this, it's because I already recorded this once earlier. But Victory and I were trying out a new format. It didn't really work. There are way too many pauses, and in the editing process of the videos, I edited all the videos, by the way. It was really annoying, so I decided, you know what, screw that. This is what I'm going to do. So just going to run through it again. I'm going to look at the costumes of the characters they've shown so far, including the ones I found on Tumblr. I mean, not Tumblr, Twitter. And then I'm going to, dissect the costumes, analyze the differences, the changes, and I'll kind of go over where I think the plot's going to pick up, and only generally though, of course, because there's not much to talk about. Alright, so I'm going to be basing my, glances upon the image I put in the thumbnail, and it should be on your screen right now. And I'm going to go from left to right. But the images I'm going to show, which are slightly better quality, are going to be the images I found on Tumblr, and I'm going to just be, enhancing the image a bit, or not enhancing it, cropping out everyone else and focusing on the character I'm talking about. So, to start us off, we're looking at Static Shock, who, if you recall, is Virgil Hawking's character from DC Comics owns. He's from the Dakotaverse. He had his own TV show back in the early 2000s. It was really good. I quite enjoyed it, and I'm just going to be talking about, the differences in that costume and the old one. This one's more of a jacket type deal. Of course, he has always worn jackets, but usually it's not as modern as this, but that's typical of the Young Justice style. His hair has changed. He no longer has traditional locks. It seems like he's altered the way it looked, which kind of triggers me because I'm getting tired of these guys not having locks anymore. Like my boy Aqualad, when they put him in DC Comics, he had locks, but then they rebooted his ass, and now he's got the blonde hair like in the show. I prefer the locks. I prefer the locks on Static too, but it's whatever. Moving on from him, we have my boy Bart Allen taking up the mantle of Kid Flash like he did in the comics. Except in this version, it's not to be the Kid Flash, the Wally West Flash, but the Kid Flash, the Barry Flash, because, as you know, Wally met his end at the end of the last season of Young Justice. So, Bart happens to be wearing a costume very similar to the very similar to the costume worn by Wally West in the DC Comics animated universe. And I hate this costume. I think it's garbage, but I do like that they changed the goggles to reflect that it's Bart and not Wally. That's an important detail, I think. Though they went ahead and changed the whole suit, so it seems like a pointless detail, but I digress. Moving on from Bart, we have the fact, actually, I want to focus on the costume a bit more, because, at the end of the last episode of the last season, he's wearing Wally's costume, and it would have been nice, I think, if they just changed the goggles, but no, they went ahead and redid the whole thing. I don't like it, but whatever. So the next person is Tim. Now, Victory thinks it could also be Damien, but when I get down the list, you'll understand why I say it's probably still Tim. But now he's rocking the hood. He appears to be taller than Bart. I think they were around the same height last season, so he's grown. Next to him is Cassie Sandmark, otherwise known as Wonder Girl. Same costume as last season. I think this costume's lame. I've always thought it was lame. It's not really the costume, it's the shoes. Man, like, what are those? Old dead memes, but for real, like, I think they're lame. She could use something else to wear, honestly. Moving on from her, we have Spoiler, which, if you don't know her, she's a Batman character. Stephanie Brown. She later becomes Batgirl, but in this image, she's in a Spoiler costume. That's why I'd say the Robin is probably Tim, because Spoiler and Tim had a relationship in the comics. But her costume looks a lot like how it looked when they brought her into DC Rebirth. So I'm excited to see what they do with her character, especially if they keep her history intact, with her father being a villain. A lame one, so I don't remember who it is. I think it's the Calculator, which is funny in its own right. But moving on from that, we have Blue Beetle right next to her. And of course, Beetle's costume's the same, so no big deal there. Moving on from there, we have 13, which might be Tracy 13, but I'm not particularly sure. The character's simply titled 13. And then next to her, we have Arrowette, which you guys don't know Arrowette. She's a character from the original Young Justice comics from back in the 90s, when the team was just Superboy, Impulse, and Robin to start out. And then later they added more people to the ranks, like Arrowette. Now, I'm curious to see what they do with her personality, because a lot of personality traits were given to artists. And her relationship in the comics, her most notable one was to Bart Allen. So I'm curious if those two are going to hook up. And I think it'd be cool if they did that, because I like the pairing, even though I like Bart more with other people, potentially. But their relationship could be interesting. The only problem is that the relationship between Kid Flash and Artemis was kind of a lift of their relationship in the comics. So they might be considered like a ripoff in their universe. Like, it'd be weird, Like Tigress, which is formerly Artemis, would probably be like, Bart, so Wally dated me, and now you're dating Arrowette. Is that a speedster thing? But whatever, I digress. I'd be into it. Next to her is Roy Harper in his Arsenal getup. Now, as we know, Arsenal is the original Roy Harper, not a clone who became Red Arrow. He's still rocking the robot arm, still rocking all the extra gear. He got what he wanted, he got even. So, I'm interested to see where this goes. And then, next time we have Beast Boy, who looks like he's graduated to wearing shoes and gloves and pants. So that's nice. His haircut's pretty lame. I like the Wilder style, but that's just me. And that about does it for that promo image. Now, the next promo image that they have would be the fact that we have a image of Tigress and Superboy wearing all black, kind of ninja getup, so they might be doing some undercover work when the season starts. I'm interested to see where that goes. And I could be wrong, these could just be similar models. I definitely think that's Superboy, though, but I'm iffy on Artemis. And then, of course, we have a African-American man wearing all black. I have no idea who that is. It doesn't look like Manta. So, again, I'm curious to see what there is. And also, I've been told that there are, news details out, so I'm kind of going to look into that and add that to the next part of this video. But, for right now, that's my thoughts on just the costumes. And I hope you enjoy whatever I can find on what the season itself will be about. Alright, so I did some digging for the last bit of this video, so it should be pretty easy for you guys to follow. Alright, so what I've discovered is that this new series will not be on Cartoon Network, of course. You probably already know that. It's going to be on a DC streaming service, so you'll most likely have to pay for it unless something changes. Or you guys can find another source that I don't have. But because this is going to be able to explore more adult themes, supposedly, so that could be interesting. Maybe we'll see more direct death. I mean, they kind of already did everything adult I think they could do, but they're creators, so I'm sure they'll be able to come up with something. It seems like the more senior Young Justice members will be forming their own team. So that image I showed earlier, which has like I said, Superboy and I pretty much confirmed now Artemis on it. It's not just Superboy in the outfit, that's also Dick Grayson, and apparently Aqualad's hair will go from blonde to black. Jury's still out on that one. That's just something I found someone saying, but I don't know for sure. So it's possible that black-haired individual was actually Aqualad, though I wouldn't hold my breath on that. So that could still be iffy. But it looks like they're gonna go form their own team, maybe to do more covert stuff, even more covert than the things the Young Justice is doing. So that could be interesting. It's possible that they're the ones who form the Outsiders, but I couldn't find any details on that. But yeah, Young Justice Season 3, guys. I'm actually really excited to see what's going to happen. I really like this show. It's nice to see Bart and Superboy in something since they've been taken out of DC Comics. So I'm hoping this will be something that DC creators will see and they'll go, hey, you know what? People like these characters. We need to throw them in the comics because I want my boy Static back. I want Bart back, and I want Connor back. Even though the last two I mentioned have had their names taken by Wally West, the black one, and by John Kent. Even though I like those characters, they're still stealing characters I like more. They're stealing their names anyway. But yeah. So all in all, looks like this is shaping up to be an interesting season, and all the characters appear to be interesting, and I'm really excited. So sound off in the comments. Let me know what you're most excited to see, what plot threads you want to see them pick up on. Remember to like, favorite, subscribe if you're new. And we'll be following this pretty closely because Victory and I both really love this show. So that being said, I'll catch you guys later.